Welcome back, everybody, and a very good morning. It's about 9:07. It is Thursday morning. It is August the 1st, the first day of August. And yes, we have another new guitar day. And quite unusual for Pro Audio Star to actually package this in an outside box, but I think their logic is that this is a very small box, and yes it is, and there you go. So we're just going to take a quick look at a couple things here. Here's something we want to look at. Yes, it looks like, according to this, 2013. I'm going to guess. Anyways, this is a Silvertone. Da-da-da-da. It's a reissue of the Silvertone, obviously, because it's a brand new guitar. This is the Silvertone 1478. This is a guitar that was originally introduced by Silvertone back when they were sold through Sears in 1963. But this is a modern reissue. And it looks like it survived its journey fairly well. We don't have any major crash and burns. It doesn't feel too heavy at all. We're going to do the guess a weight here in just a minute. But we're just going to pop it right out and gaze upon the beauty. Some of the comments on this guitar were sort of all over the place. Yeah, it looks like this is a 2013, just based on what little I can figure out, because I think these came out in 2012, so this is definitely a new old stock. It's been sitting around gathering dust somewhere. As the usual, let's feel those fret ends. Very nice. Action looks a bit high. But just a quick it's got a little bit of smudge there. Not really sure what that's all about. Oh, that's just, it's been sitting on this for 11 years. That's pretty amazing. Now, yeah, this definitely looks like it had a little bit of playtime on it. Probably not much. It was sold as an open box, so we'll cut them some slack there. If it was brand new, I would call them out on that, but open box means someone took it out of the box. So there you go. So let's just gaze upon it for a moment. I think it passes the test thus far, unless there's something major wrong with the controls or the tuners or something along those lines. I am going to weigh it, so I'll be right back. I'm going to guess, just by guessing, I'm going to say it's 7.2 pounds. Let's see if I'm close. Well, according to my high-tech digital scale, it comes in at 7.6, which is a comfortable and respectable weight. So, I'm going to go plug this in, and we will be back. Ooh, welcome back, everybody. Excuse me. It is now going on 5 o'clock, and again, it is August the 1st, 2024. Spent a few hours playing this. Again, this is a Silvertone 1478. This is a reissue of a guitar that, based on everything I've read, was introduced in 1963 as a Sears guitar. Silvertone, I think, was primarily sold through Sears. And we're just going to give a quick review here. First of all, this guitar is a very, very, very pleasant surprise. Now, if I would have spent the full asking price of $499, I would have said, it's a pretty good guitar. But I got it on sale at Pro Audio Star. That sale is now concluded for $229.99. You love the way they squeeze out that last 99. It was listed as an open box guitar. it did show a few tiny signs that perhaps it truly was an open box guitar, but nothing to dissuade my pleasure. So the good, the bad, and there's really no ugly. The good is the fit and the finish. Again, this is the 4th Silvertone reissue I've owned. About 4 years ago, I bought a Jupiter. It showed up. It had a cracked neck. I sent it back because I wanted to try another one. I got another one. I liked it, but it was just sort of lacking in personality. Then I got what I think is the 1303. I could be wrong, but it's sort of like the Dan Electro single cut, 2 lipstick pickups. It was an okay guitar. Quality was good, as with the Jupiter. The fit and the finish were very good. I do have a Dan Electro double cut 59 with a lipstick, so I thought, there's no reason to keep the other one. So I sent it back. It had the dual concentric tone and volume knobs, and it was black with the clear pick guard. It just didn't really have much personality, but it was okay. But this guitar, again, had it not been on sale, I certainly would not have paid the $499 for it, not for any reason other than, it's a remake of a Silvertone, which is a budget guitar. I guess in 2024, $500 is not too much, but there's so much to choose below that of decent quality guitars. But yeah, the $229.99 caught my eye, so I went for it. So, the interesting, perhaps biggest surprise of this guitar is this guitar was manufactured in June of 2013. So this is an 11-year-old new old stock guitar, which again doesn't make any difference to me because obviously guitars are not like a carton of milk. There is no expiration date. It was apparently, I don't know where it was stored. I don't know if Silvertone had it, if Pro Audio Store had it sitting in their warehouse for 11 years, but it's no worse for the wear. There's a little bit of back bow in the neck, which I'm going to wait a few days, if not a week, before I adjust that. The fret ends are nice and smooth. There's no high frets. There's no dead spots. The tops of the frets are smooth and polished. There's no scratchiness at all. The potentiometers were a little scratchy on the first turn, but that disappeared immediately. Switch is solid. Output jack is solid. A lot of people had complaints about this guitar. There's not a lot of reviews, but again, maybe quality control is not quite as steady as it could or should be. The nut seems to be cut fine on this guitar. Stretch the strings a couple times. Stays in tune. I don't use the Bigsby very much, but I used it a couple times. It didn't go out of tune dramatically. So that's not an issue. The knobs, the potentiometers are extremely stiff. Again, I don't twist my knobs very much. I usually dial it in and pretty much stay in one place, so that's not an issue. Nice features. It's got the binding, and it has the second, I don't know if it's a second layer of binding, but it has the second little line. They say that it's a rosewood fretboard, and again, if it was made in 2013, of course it would be, because there was none of that brouhaha about rosewood that showed up in 2018. And they also say that these are real pearl inlays, and they look like it. They have a little more depth than pearloid, but again, superficial, who cares? People complain about the tuners. These tuners work fine. I mean, again, I'm sure they're cheap and inexpensive. I have no idea how long the plastic knob will stay on there. But for the time being, tunes up really nice, very smooth and even. There's no dead spots or play or wiggle room, and it stays in tune really nice. I believe this Bigsby is, it's a licensed Bigsby, the B50. You look these up on eBay, they're anywhere from $100 to $125 just for the Bigsby. Again, I don't use it, but this guitar comes in at 7.6 pounds, which is a really nice weight. The other thing that surprised me, doesn't bother me at all, There's no contour on the body. It's just a slab body, which is fine. Very comfortable. The black's not my favorite color. I only have one of the black guitar, and that's my Dan Electro, but this looks nice. They said that the binding would be white. It's actually cream, so that's nice, because you can see that on the pick guard it's actually white. But on the neck and the nut is a nice cream color. And yeah, overall really satisfied. It does have a couple funny quirks. Not really a quirk, I guess it's called series wiring. But when you have it in the middle position, if either one of the volumes is all the way down, you lose everything. So you have to have both volumes up at least a little. And the tone control in the middle position does work on the bridge pickup, but does not seem to work on the neck pickup. But when you go to the neck position, the tone control works. So I don't know if that's a Silvertone quirk. Look at the space between the neck and the body. That's interesting. And then again, these are not the original gold foil, D'Armond, or whatever pickups they use. But there's no adjustability on these pickups at all. Yeah, they're one piece, and they don't go up and down. But they seem to be in a good place. Some people said that they were too far away from the strings. Fine for me for home play. So overall, very pleased. Very, very pleased. Of course, we'll let a week or two go by, play it, dial it in. I'm going to adjust the relief on the neck. I may lower the action just a touch. Still have a lot of room to go. It's pretty low, but I guess there's a little space. You can go down a little further. Not much on this side. Actually feels fine. This side's a little high, so I might take that down a touch. But yeah, it's different. It's not like anything else that I have, and that's sort of the place where I'm at now. Another interesting thing, which I have no idea because I can't measure degree of angle, but if you notice that unlike Fender style guitars, which this was sort of being modeled after, like a Jaguar, or I can never say that word, Jaguar, or can't even think of the other one. What's the other offset Fender guitar? But usually they have the straight headstock, and this has an angle on it, sort of like a Gibson product. So I guess they were sort of drawing from the bag. A Jazzmaster, that was the guitar I was thinking of. So if you notice that it has an angle, I don't know what degree that is. Maybe that's a 14 degree. I think Gibsons are 16 or 17, Epiphones are 14. But that's interesting. There's no string tree on it. Doesn't seem to be an issue. And again, when I tune it, there's no pinging, there's no binding. And again, the tuning is very stable, so what's not to like? And the quality of the components, again, I think I mentioned it, but the output jack and the switch, really pretty darn nice. So again, we will be back in a week or two, barring any sudden discovery of something that's crazy. I definitely will keep this guitar, at least for the time being, until something else catches my eye, and that maybe this will be a keeper for the long term. One never knows. Life is a constant changing. So we will be back. Wishing you greetings. Again, we're in the middle of summer. Today it's about 95. Tomorrow's supposed to be 99. Saturday 95, and then next week we're going back into the 80s. Whoosh! That will feel really good. So we will see you when we come back. Till then. And welcome back, everybody. It is now August the 6th, 2024. And this is the secondary conclusion and comments about this guitar. This is the Silvertone 1478 reissue. I got this last Thursday. I've got another guitar coming tomorrow. So this doesn't get the usual week's worth of time of playing before I give some final thoughts and comments. But I've been playing it quite seriously over the past 5 days. And again, I really like this guitar. It's very quirky in many ways. I mentioned before that I thought, but I have confirmed, I contacted Silvertone, and apparently the original company that resurrected these guitars back in 2012 bottomed out in 2020, and they sold them all to another company. And according to the people that I talked to, that all of those guitars were made in 2013-14, and they stopped production, and these have all been sitting in a warehouse. And wherever they were, they must have stored them properly, because, I mean, for an 11-year-old guitar, I'm absolutely surprised. I mean, again, just going down the list of very little to no fret sprout, no corrosion or tarnish on the frets. Even the strings feel brand new. There was very little of that, you know, new guitar black finger syndrome. The strings are clean. They ring out true. The guitar was set up nice. There's needs a little more relief on the neck. Action could come down a touch. Those are small little things. The Bigsby actually works quite well, although it's not something that I used, and it's one of the reasons why I avoided this guitar, and it's a good thing that I did. Now, I never would have paid the $4.99 that is being asked for this guitar. I think that was part of their problem, was that this guitar was just priced too high. It's basically got a very limited market, and that's baby boomers like me that remember these from their childhood in the Sears catalog. I'm guessing that the majority of younger players don't even know what a Silvertone is and could care less and wouldn't want one. But that being said, Pro Audio Store had them on sale. I took the bite, got it for what I considered to be a good price. It was certainly a price I was willing to pay for it, which makes it a really good deal on my part. And again, I rarely, if ever, even use the Bigsby. But again, I think it's got a really nice sort of steampunk vibe for a tailpiece. And the guitar stays in tune really nice. I mean, a lot of people, I guess, had different experiences. Some people said the tuners sucked on this. I can tune this guitar up, set it on the stand, and pick it up the next morning, and unlike most of my other guitars, it's usually right in tune, and it stays in tune for 2-3 hours while I'm playing it. So more than satisfied with that aspect of it. Again, interesting guitar, came in at 7.6 pounds. Some people said theirs were like 7 pounds. Supposedly it's a mahogany body with maple caps on it. I'm not sure why they went to the trouble of doing that, especially when you've got a solid color guitar. Who knows if there's maple caps underneath the black paint? One would never know. Nice feature that they put binding around the neck. It's got a flat radius, I think, of 12. Modern C-shaped neck, nice and chunky, good feel to it. Pickups are nice. Supposedly they put some big, typical advertising, we backward engineered the original pickups. I don't know if they did or they didn't, but these sound really nice. It's got a nice sound to it that's not like anything else I own, and that's always a plus. So I'm not just going out and buying the same guitar over and over and over again. And again, that funky, I guess these came out first in 1963, and some people have pointed out, and it looks like, no, it's offset. This is definitely, so I don't know who said it wasn't an offset. The contours are definitely offset from each other, at least the way I'm looking at it, the way I see it. So, anyways, very satisfied. And for the price I paid, again, which was $229, I thought it was really a bargain. They didn't advertise the fact that these were new old stock 2013 models. Would it have made a difference? Probably not. I mean, obviously, if someone showed up and said they had a truckload of 59 Les Pauls that had been sitting in a warehouse for the last close to 70 years, if they had been stored properly and they were all playable, you'd have a retirement account. Silvertones, obviously, not so much. One of the bonuses, these were made with rosewood fretboards before the site's rosewood debacle hit in 2018. They say it's real mother of pearl inlays. I don't know. They look like they're a little more depth than pearloid has. The pick guard, take it or leave it. It's tortoise. Some people complain that it has no depth, that it's just a photo finish. It's a pick guard. It's just to keep your pick marks from hitting the guitar. So again, overall, very satisfied. Definitely different than anything else I have, and if nothing else, that makes me happy that I was able to get something that was, yeah, interesting. And they're still available, so apparently they didn't sell very well, and most people want $4.99 for it. And look, if you've got the money, I mean, it's quality-wise, it's equal to a classic Vibe by Squier, and they're in the $4.50 range. So, and they're more common. So if you're looking for something a little different, you know, again, I'm cheap. I wouldn't pay $4.99 for it, but if you've got the money and you want something different, it's certainly quality-wise. I can't speak for all the guitars. I know that this one, quality-wise, fit and finish, top-notch. I mean, they did a nice job. It wasn't just a cheap, whoever contracted Samick to make these set their standards fairly high. My final comment is, of the three that I think are available of the retro series, the Jupiter, the 1303, and this one to me is the most accurate, even though the original didn't have a Bigsby. It had a really cheap, funky trim system, and then I guess some people said they put a Hagstrom one on the later ones. But this was always a solid body guitar. The Jupiter was originally a semi-hollow body guitar, and I believe that the 1303 was as well. Was sort of in the Dan Electro mode, where it had sort of the skeleton thing going on the interior and then the exterior pieces of wood. And that makes a difference. So, because I've had the Jupiter and I felt it was just no personality. And I briefly owned the 1302 or 1303. I'm not sure what the exact model number is, but that's the two lipstick pickups model. And it didn't really have, well, it had a little more personality than the Jupiter did. But this one, on the other hand, really has a personality. So I think it probably mirrors the original the most, if for no other reason than the original was a solid body guitar slab. There's no contours on this, no belly cut or anything. And so, yeah, I think they did a great job. So anyways, this is the Silvertone 1478 reissue. And I do believe that if you buy one, your serial number will reflect that it was made in either 2013 or 14, so don't be surprised. This is by far the oldest new guitar I've ever gotten, and I do give it 2 thumbs up, yes. So thank you for joining us. We've got another guitar coming tomorrow, so I will post this tonight again for the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, and the final time. It is August the 6th, 2024. We're getting a break from summer. This, in many places of the country, is dead middle in the summer. For some places, like Phoenix, it's probably the beginning of summer. Who knows? I'm sure we've got some hot weather coming back, but we've been given a break for like 3 or 4 days. We're in the low 70s, which is just really nice, especially at night when you're going to sleep, to have some cool air. Boy, there was a couple of days 2 weeks ago that literally it was just furnace material up here at night. So this is a nice break. So hope you're doing well, and we'll be back. Thank you again for joining us.